Hey there, my name is Krafty Kathy and I want to welcome you to my channel. I am tickled pink that you came this way to spend some time with me today. I'm a small business owner here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I do thrift flips and I love to do vintage inspired upcycles. And I would love to have you come along on this journey with me. Why don't you hit that subscribe button and become a part of our family here on YouTube? It's real easy. All you got to do is hit that red button and you're in. And if you hit that bell beside it, YouTube's going to let you know every time that I put out a video. So today we're just going to jump right into DIY number 1. I've got this cute little cookie jar that I found at a vintage resale store, and I probably paid $1.99 for it. And last year I kind of messed it up. I spray painted it and a little bit of the paint ran, and I hate when that happens. So y'all are going to think I'm crazy. To get that paint back down to the normal surface, I took my sander to it, y'all. Not a sanding sponge, I'm talking about electric sander, and I buzzed it down. After I did that, I brought it back in and I cleaned it up really good and got all that old dust off of it. And this is kind of what it looks like. But at least it didn't have any runs in it anymore. And I'm sorry that my head is a little bit in the way. I'm trying new angles with my camera. I've got my DIY Gypsy Green paint, which is my favorite green paint. And as soon as I started putting it on the lid of this, I realized it wasn't taking the paint very well because it's glass and I needed to put a primer on it. So I stopped right there, got my Dixie Belle Slick Stick, which you use that for glass or anything that's kind of hard to paint. It's pretty much a primer. And I just slapped 2 coats of that on this. Now it did take 2 coats. It usually takes 1, but it took 2 this time. Now I'm going back in with my DIY Gypsy Green and I gave it 2 full coats. And then I totally let it dry. When it was dry, I took some of these new transfers that I got. I got them off Amazon, and they're in my Amazon store if you want some. These are made by Prima Redesign. Now, the reason why I got these is because they had mushrooms on them, and you know mushrooms is the new thing. It's kind of everywhere you look. Mushrooms and sunflowers is kind of the thing that I'm seeing this fall. So I thought it would be beautiful with the Gypsy Green, and I found this pretty mushroom that looked perfect on this little cookie jar. And so I just laid it down and I used the little tool that they send you and I put the transfer on. And once again, I am sorry for this angle, guys. I didn't realize that it was that far behind me. The rest of the film is not like this, so I just wanted to let you know in advance. But like I said, I was trying out new angles and I'm so sorry. But I got that on there and then I burnished it, which that just means you use the film that it comes with and kind of rub it around. And then I found a beautiful little butterfly that goes with the mushroom. And so I just kind of put it up on the side, kind of catty corner up there. I thought that that looked sweet and it just gave it a little added touch. And then after that, I just took my DIY white wax and I brushed it on with my waxing brush that Miss Lori sent me over at Milton's Daughter. And you guys always ask me where I get my transfers at and all of my IOD needs and paint. And I get it from Miss Lori at Milton's Daughter. And I always leave her information in the description box below because she gives my viewers 10% off when you use the code KraftyKathy10. So I started using a rag because I liked it better on this than the wax brush. I was afraid I was going to get the paint off. So I just kind of wiped it on and basically wiped it right back off to where I wanted it. And that's all I did to this one. It turned out so cute. Let me know what you think. Now we're moving right into DIY number 2. and I found a huge sale at the Dollar General store, and this tray is normally $7, but it was half off, so I only spent $3.50 on it. And I did put a coat of that Dixie Belle Slick Stick on it first because it's a metal tray and it wasn't holding the paint very well. So I just used the Waverly Mineral paint and I gave it 2 good full coats, but I left the handles black because I liked it that way. Then I did just a slight bit of wet distressing. I actually just took a baby wipe, and it has a black rim around the top, and it was really hard to paint and not get it on that black rim. So I just kind of went all the way around that top so the black would show up, and also, you know, I just went back over the handles because I got paint in a couple of little spots, made sure I got that off, and there was a couple of spots where I wanted the white to kind of peek through, so I just do wet distressing with that baby wipe and it wipes right off. Then I took my IOD black wax and I took my wax brush. I just put a little bit on there. It doesn't take much, and I just kind of wiped it almost in a up and down and circular motion. And then I just take a lint-free rag and wipe off the excess that I don't want on there. And I really like the way that this black wax looked with the mineral. I've never used that combination before, and I was pleasantly surprised. Then from that same pack of transfers, the Prima redesign, I have the red truck on here, and it's got like a sunflower on it and stuff. It's really pretty. It's almost like a maroon color truck. And I did the same thing and used that little tool that they send me to put it on there. And then I just burnished it, which means you go around it with that film that it came off of. And it's basically just to help it get stuck down real good. Then I picked a little saying that was on here, and it said, "Let there be pumpkin spice." And I thought that was cute for fall. And so I put that little saying on there, and then I burnished it also. Let me know if you like this one. We are moving right along into DIY number 3. I got really lucky and came across some luggage lately, and this is like the little makeup luggage that goes along with it. It's in decent condition for the age that it is, but it needed some work. It just needed to be cleaned up. I don't think it had ever been used, to be honest with you. So after I cleaned it up, I wanted to do something a little different. I taped off all the silver parts because I wanted to keep that, and I spray painted it black. Then I brought it inside, and I'm going to use this gorgeous, gorgeous transfers, and they are IOD, and it's called Cheers. And at first I thought, what am I going to do with these? Because it's like grapes and wine and that kind of thing. But look what I came across. This is transfer gold in my book, y'all. This was sent to me by Miss Lori at Milton's Daughter to try out. And I am so glad that she sent this to me because I never even noticed this one before. So I picked this beautiful piece that says Merlot on it, and it's got like a castle in it, and I thought that would look really good with that black background, and I was right. So I laid it down, and I did it the same way that I do all the other transfers. I just rub my finger over it, then I just use that little tool that they send me, and I rub lightly over the top of it. And I find that it's easier to get the transfers off whenever you are kind of holding it up, and it just almost peels off like a sticker. And then I burnished it. That's just used the film that comes with it. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I was using the Prima redesign at the first of this, but there is no comparison when it comes to the quality between these two transfers. I just have to be honest. The other ones are cheaper, but you get what you pay for, and that's all I'm going to say. Now this one, the rose here, it came from the Redoubt 2 book, And that's the beauty with the IOD. You know, you can use different ones and just different pieces, and they always seem to get together. These leaves didn't even go with this rose, but I made it work, and I think it looks beautiful. I found some smaller roses that I thought looked really cute down on the bottom. If you put too many transfers, it kind of looks tacky, but just a few looks really classy and high-end. And then just as a personal preference, I like to go over mine with a sanding sponge very, very lightly because it kind of scratches it up a little bit and it doesn't have that new appearance. It gives it that vintagey vibe that you know I love. I really don't expect that this is going to stick around very long in my booth. And I have 3 other pieces that goes with this collection too. Let me know how you like this one. Do you like the black? I think it was a beautiful choice. This video went by so quick, and we're already coming up on our last DIY of the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love for you to hit that little red subscribe button and become a part of our family here. And if you're enjoying this content, hit the like button because that really helps me out here on YouTube. Now this one is a beautiful clock that we got for $3.99 at Goodwill. And I took that little center piece off. It literally just popped off. And also it had like a round glass front on it that I pulled off. But I wanted to show you the whole picture of the clock here. I love to work with clocks, especially if they have like an ornate design. The first thing that I did was pick this other mushroom transfer that I have from the Prima redesign, and we're going to put it right on the face of the clock. I love to do this a lot of times, and it really makes a huge difference in a clock. I just took and made a small hole in the center of that transfer so I could pop it right down over that little pin that sticks up in the middle of the clock. And one thing I've learned from this video that we're definitely not doing this angle anymore, but y'all get a great view of all the gray hairs that are popping up in my head. That's because I'm trying to do 2 videos a week, and it's really tough sometimes, but I love doing it, guys. So yeah, I just put the transfer on, and I know it's not a good view, but I just used the little tool that they sent me. Then I took my gypsy green, which is my favorite DIY color, and I'm going to go around the rim of this clock. I also took the clock outside and covered up the main body of it, and I spray painted all the ornate parts with my Rust-Oleum 2x black matte color. Then I just put everything back together. And I keep the stuff on the little, the hands there, the pin, exactly the way that it came off because that way I won't lose the pieces. And do you know this clock still works perfectly with no problems. And so I got the time set on it and I got everything set back in place the way that it goes. I mean, just little changes like this can make such a difference. And it had 3 screws that I put back in the front. Then I took that little part that ticks back and forth. You know, I don't even know what that part's called or if it has a name, but I had spray painted it black and I thought that would look really cute if I just did it in the gypsy green, and so I gave it 2 coats. And that's all I had to do to this clock. It was a simple change, but it made such a statement, and it's going to sell really fast. I just know it. I want to thank you guys for coming and spending your time with me today. And don't forget that I'm doing 2 videos a week. It's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays at 6:30. And I just thank you guys so much, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. I had a good response to my Dollar Tree video on Friday, so I think this Friday I'm going to do another Dollar Tree. And I'll see you guys then. I love you. Bye.